Hello, welcome to my presentation. My presentation is called The Role of Epigenetics in Development, How Nature and Nurture Work Together. Imagine the anxiety that you feel today was actually programmed into your genetics years ago, decades ago. Well, today I'm going to dive into the biological architecture of stress to reveal how early environments trigger reactions in your DNA, specifically methyl groups to bind to your DNA. These molecular scars don't just fade, they alter your stress response system forever at a cellular level. On our agenda for today, what is epigenetics? The HPA axis, our stress system. We're going to look into survival now, but consequences later, and protective factors and hope, and also linking it to ADHD and more. What is epigenetics? Well, I put the picture here because a good metaphor for what epigenetics is. Essentially, epigenetics would be the music book with music notes. It tells you which notes to press on the keyboard or on the piano. If the keys are your genes, then the book is epigenetics deciding what song we will play. Will it be a calm, mellow tune, a fast, cheerful tune, a low baritone song? It depends on what the music key notes say. So the genes and environment work together. They constantly influence each other. So rather than thinking about nature versus nurture, epigenetics shows us how nature and nurture come together. Nurturing care activates genes that support healthy brain development, while abuse or neglect can heighten stress sensitivity, becoming biologically embedded in our cells. The HPA axis, our stress system. HPA stands for the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal. It's the body's main stress response. It releases hormones in response to challenges and stress. Supportive caregiving can lead to well-regulated systems. However, chronic early adversity can lead to persistently overactive stress response. In young children, they need secure attachments and they need responsive care and relationships. Sometimes children are raised by parents who have experienced personal hardships, financial difficulties, maybe substance abuse. In times like this, sometimes they unintentionally cause immense stress for children. This can drive epigenetic modifications that overactivate stress response genes. Survival now, consequences later. Early experiences prepare the body and brain for the expected environment. Safe environments prepare for with balanced stress response. A hostile, unpredictable environment will require you to be hypervigilant. Problems arise when survival responses outlive the danger. These adaptations aren't inherently good or bad, but when a survival response developed in a dangerous childhood persists into a safe adulthood, it can contribute to anxiety disorders, depression, and emotional regulation difficulties. Protective factors and hope. This is where we can connect science to the legislation, to the theorists, to everything we've learned. It makes sense why the foundations are belonging, well-being, expression, engagement, in order to provide safe, nurturing environments where children can grow and flourish without feeling like they're constantly having to protect themselves and be in that fight or flight. As early adversity can program the brain through the epigenetic changes. But the positive caregiving we provide as ECEs, as educators, as parents, as members of the community, they provide powerful protective factors. The connection to ADHD. Epigenetics links early developmental risks to ADHD. Prenatal and early exposure to toxins could also trigger. However, there is no specific ADHD gene. However, it's extremely hereditable, and we often see it run in families. But it's multiple factors. Once again, nature doesn't verse nurture. On the bright side, epigenetics brings about so much hope for future initiatives. Scientists are developing more targeted epigenetic drugs, and things like cancer have hope to be cured. If we can turn on or off a gene, why isn't it possible that we can turn on or off a cancer gene? Therapies, research, advances in epigenetic biomarkers to find out which genes may be more likely. The future is bright in science. In conclusion, development is shaped by both genes and environment, working together. Early experiences become biologically embedded into us. And this is why it's so important that we embrace positive relationships. And intervention matters. Why does intervention matter? Because if you have at least one secure attachment in your life, it can change your life. It can be the game changer, make you see that you're capable of doing so much more than you ever imagined. Whether you're talking about stress responses or ADHD, the lesson is the same. It's never nature versus nurture. It's how they come together in harmony, in symbiosis. They were never meant to be separate entities. It's together. We're social creatures, we're social beings. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. My name is Shanna McCarthy, and I'm an RACE and a student in the Bachelor of Early Learning and Community Development program. Thank you. This is my reference page. I have chosen 3 peer-reviewed articles: How Does Learning Happen? Documentation, and the Child and Growth Development textbook. Thank you so much.